I copy that.
Alright, YouTubers, we are on to the third game here, which could be the last game. Free is completely outplayed NaDa so far. I mean, NaDa went for kind of a weird strategy there at the beginning, and that kind of cost him because he wasn't able to back it up with the right amount of micro and macro. But in that second game, Free went for the weird strategy and won with it, so we'll see if these guys go for standard play this time. I'd like to see which one would win in a standard game. We'll see what happens though. Over here at the 9 o'clock position in like yellow, I think it's yellow, is NaDa. Over here in teal at the 2 o'clock position we have Free. So Free putting down his pylon, probably going to build his gateway there too. Not thinking about cheesing this round, it looks like. I'd like to see some better play from NaDa in this game. I've seen NaDa play some really great games in the past. I'm not really sure why he's been slipping so bad recently. I mean, he gets up to pretty high in some tournaments, but he just doesn't show that level of play where I'd say that, yeah, this is a Korean pro gamer. He just hasn't looked like a pro gamer recently. And he might have been trying to compensate for any kind of like APM shortcomings in that first game with an early push. I think it should have been successful if only Free had gone with his Reaver for that harassment. He might have wanted to wait a little bit more on that timing push before, like, wait till Free gets to his base with that Reaver. He probably should have been suspecting Reavers from the beginning, even though he didn't have scan up, but, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Now, looks like NaDa, a pretty standard build so far, getting his gas up, going to work towards his factory again, sending out a scout this time. Looks like Free already has a cybernetics course, getting ready to warp in here. So NaDa not being too good at fending off Dragoons so far. I think NaDa should, yeah, just get some Dragoons out and be aggressive like he was in the last match. Because NaDa just not being able to deal with that type of aggression. He'll have 2 factories out by the time he gets there, though. The size of this map might actually work in NaDa's favor if he's able to get all those factories up. See, NaDa is into Free's base. He's going to get that early scouting information. I don't even think Free has sent out a scout yet. So it might take Free a long time to get the scout on NaDa. And by the time he does, NaDa might have that choke blocked. You see, I think he might be sending out a scout here. Looks like he's probably building another gateway there, yep. And now he's going out to scout. We'll see if he scouts the right direction. Looks like he is not. I think he's going to scout NaDa last, so that's going to definitely hurt him. He's Dragoon is out. Going to be able to kill that SCV before it gets too much more information. Well, maybe not. NaDa is sneaking it out. I'm going to try to run it back to his base. I think NaDa should probably go the wrong direction here and throw Free off. No, you see, he's going straight back to his base, so I think Free's going to know where this is. And this might be another early push from NaDa. He's going out with 4 Marines. Those Marines aren't going to do too well against these Dragoons, though. See, he's bringing his Marines back. So Free finally going to be able to scout here. And it looks like NaDa does have his choke blocked, and he's building his command center, so he's thinking about getting a heavy macro game up here, but the Nexus is already out for Free. It looks like we're going to see a longer game here because both guys are going to have their expansions out soon. And both guys are playing pretty defensively right now. The Dragoons trying to take out this SCV. Oh, and it looks like Free able to block his choke. Very nice pro block there from him. Just putting down another pylon there, probably for vision purposes. And now that machine shop is spinning, so we'll see if he gets mines out or siege first. I think it's going to be siege mode. If he wants to think about defending that natural expansion, he's going to need siege against these dragoons. And it looks like 3 or 4 dragoons out for Free right now, putting out another gateway. So Free is probably going to commit mostly to zealots and dragoons here at the beginning. Not sure what he'll tech to, but he's not going to tech to it pretty soon. He's not putting up his robotics or his Citadel of Adun yet, so he's going mostly for military. And now siege mode out. So siege mode was the first upgrade here. Siege mode is going to fend off any kind of probe, scouting, any kind of dragoon push. Although it looks like Free is thinking about being pretty aggressive with these dragoons. There's a robotic facility finally warping in here. I'm guessing we're going to see Reavers again. They seem to have very good Reaver control in that last game. You might have a certain fondness for Reavers. And natural expansion up and running for both players. And I think Free is taking taking a third Nexus here. So Free is not worried at all about any kind of aggression from NaDa. NaDa might want to think about getting some scanning that, and then punishing Free for taking that expansion. See, NaDa is getting out he already has his engineering bay because he built turrets there. Those turrets are going to finally ward off against any kind of Reaver harassment. Hasn't worked. It didn't work out too well for him in the first game. He didn't have any turrets at all. And now Free is blocking off that choke, going to make sure no vultures can harass that area. Each player playing pretty conservatively here. The academy going up for NaDa, so NaDa's going to be able to scan pretty soon. There's an observatory out for Free, probably to help him look for mines. I think he is suspecting vultures right now, but I haven't seen any vultures out for NaDa so far. That third Nexus is going to be up and running pretty soon, actually. So, heavily macroing Free so far. Yep, that third expansion is up and running from Free. So Free's going to have a massive economy going. I think NaDa should think about applying a little bit of pressure here on Free and keep him from putting up this many gateways, getting this large of an army out. See Free putting up another factory there. He's got a pretty good grouping of tanks out, and now he's starting to macro himself, getting a lot of factories out. There is a factory going up with another machine shop, so I think he's going to be pumping a lot of tanks in this game. It's going to help him a lot against that Dragoon force, definitely. I think I did hear a scan earlier too, so I think his scan is up. Yeah, there's a scan right there. He's going to see the line of pylons going up, and he's going to know that Free is suspecting that there's going to be some vulture harassment, but I haven't seen any vultures out, so I think he's been focusing mainly on tanks. Just nothing but tanks here so far. So those pylons blocking were kind of a early waste of minerals, even though he's going to need pylons later. We'll see if NaDa decides to push out with siege tanks. I think a siege tank push would be able to at least get Free back into his base. See, Free is just sitting outside of NaDa's base right now. When you're a Terran player, you did not want to ever be contained like this. See, there is finally a couple vultures out for NaDa. I think NaDa probably has mines out now, since he has 2 machine shops there, probably upgraded mines. We'll see what he decides to do with this large army of tanks. I mean, he's just sitting his tanks back right now, which might not be the best idea in the world, because you see there are a lot of Dragoons coming up now. I think you should really bring these tanks to the front line. If Free breaks through here, it's going to be very hard for him to defend. You see, he is finally bringing a couple more tanks in. If he brings all of those tanks to the front, it would be very beneficial to him. You see, looks like the Templar Archives is out for free.